Tonight on Most Shocking, a drunken biker takes a 120-mile-an-hour face plant. And
head on into traffic.
A petty thief becomes a stunt-driving maniac, unleashing 3 tons of all-terrain fury.
Oh no, he just nailed that guy.
Then, a career criminal's mad dash goes bust. So he legs it out against a fleet of cops. Plus,
okay, hit the sticks.
A madman hijacks a bus and blazes a trail of terror on the freeway.
Holy cow.
Later, a gun-toting con tears up some back roads. Then sets his sights on an officer. This is not a movie. Everything you're about to see is real. Brace yourself. This is Most Shocking High-Speed Chases.
Pasadena, Texas.
He's just flying down this floodplain here.
This crook who just snatched a purse embarks on one of the wildest chases in Texas history. He runs like a man facing a murder charge.
Head on into traffic.
Police hope this reckless pursuit won't turn into one.
And he is still going.
They block off an intersection trying to box the madman in. But he finds a way out. The suspect escapes into a parking lot, dodging cruisers at every turn.
Whoa!
He mocks their show of force, barreling through a stand of trees and into the clear. He slogs through mud and flies over bumps.
Completely airborne there.
It seems no obstacle can stop him,
Oh, almost an accident.
even when damage is done.
Oh no, he just nailed that guy.
Authorities are desperate for a solution.
Unreal, this guy's on a golf course now.
Then, cops find their chance.
Right over that spike strip. Oh, there goes a tire.
Now he can hardly even steer.
Oh, what an impact. Broadsided that truck.
A staggering blow. But any hope that this insanity is over is quickly torn to pieces.
This is unbelievable.
Even with no front tires, he refuses to throw in the towel.
Oh, that was close.
But avoiding oncoming traffic brings the man's 3.5-hour escape to a splashing end. This is one jam he won't be getting out of. The two-bit crook is cuffed and hauled away. This outrageous chase was one of the longest, wildest, most dangerous pursuits these officers have ever experienced. But in the end, this high-stakes highwayman was still sent up the river. Los Feliz, California. A speeding motorcyclist flees from police at 120 miles an hour. It's a bad idea that's going to catch up with him in a hurry. He sideswipes a parked car, then ricochets into the back of another. The bone-rattling impact shatters his pelvis and right leg. Bystanders rush to the man's aid. As he's treated for his injuries, authorities discover he's highly intoxicated. He'll have a long stay in the hospital, and the next time he walks, it will be into a courtroom. Palm Bay, Florida. Units converge on a violent man who just carjacked this black pickup. His name is Robert Misraka, a man with an extensive criminal past. Spike strips have already shredded his right front tire, but still he plows ahead. Moments later, the suspect swerves off-road. Behind the pack, motorcycle cop Butch Palmer pulls up.
I saw the pursuit had come to a stop. There were several cars around it, several Palm Bay police cars.
But when officers approach the stopped truck, it U-turns and heads straight for Palmer, who opens fire.
He was bearing down on me. The only thing I could do is hopefully divert his direction by shooting some rounds his way, which is what I did.
Despite the high-caliber warning, the three-wheeled runner rages on. Until suddenly, he does himself in. Misraka slams into a tree, then bails. 4 deputies pursue at a full sprint. But it's a cruiser that cuts him down. Officers tackle and quickly subdue the fugitive with tasers. Taser! But even under arrest, the sneering Misraka remains defiant.
Get your finger out of my collar, man. Get your finger out of my collar.
Are you done?
Done now? You gonna get in right?
This suspect may have been the one leading the pursuit, but it was officers who called the shots.
Coming up,
They're bailing out.
an infrared camera tracks a thief on foot right into the jaws of justice.
We're still going here.
Then, a tag team of cops takes out some robbers with a devastating 1-2 punch. Plus, a drunk driver's getaway comes to an explosive end. That's straight ahead on Most Shocking High-Speed Chases.
Okay, I got it.
Brevard County, Florida.
Go Stars 1097 on your units.
Under cover of night, a couple flees a busted robbery attempt.
There were two suspicious persons in a convenience store parking lot. They were donning masks and they had a handgun.
Pilot Chris Sands and cameraman David Altman track the duo using infrared.
Passenger door is open. Passenger door is open. Hang on, I'm going to be coming around hard. Yeah, do your thing.
We get good eyes on them. Dave can tell that the passenger door is open on the car.
Suddenly, a desperate move.
Passengers out. Passengers out. Keep going, guys.
I don't know if she jumped out of the car or was pushed out of the car or what her choice was there.
Seconds later, it's the guy's turn.
All right, here we go. They're bailing out. I'm staying with the driver. The spotlight is on the driver. He's coming around the block. He's going all the way across it.
The fleet-footed runner leaves the first wave of police in his dust. But the infrared camera and a spotlight follow his every step.
He's going back towards Pine Eater right now. All right, he just fell down.
Ground units follow the spotlight.
As he's running, I can actually see a Coco Canine unit pulling into that neighborhood.
Canine, you're a perfect spot. Come around the house right there, real quick. He's coming around on the east side, right there. Right there, Canine. He's right there, Canine.
The suspect immediately surrenders.
As soon as he saw the dog, he threw his hands up, you know.
He's right there, Canine.
He went down on the ground. I recalled the dog.
All right, we got 1, 10, 12, 10, 15.
But unbelievably, as the other officers converge and try to secure him, the runaway starts struggling.
We're still going here. Kevin, just be advised that they're still fighting here. We got 3 units out with him and the dog.
We thought he still had his gun. He kept reaching for his waistband. And that's when the dog bit him.
The dog's fangs do the trick, and the running rebel is cuffed mere feet from his potential hideout.
Where he was taken into custody was one house away from his grandmother's house.
The investigation reveals that the passenger was actually an innocent player in this crook scheme.
Passengers out. Keep going, guys.
Oh, here we go.
It also verifies that this outlaw was armed for action.
In the row of houses where he was running behind the houses, they actually found the handgun.
But most of all, it proves that teamwork and training
They're bailing out. All right, here we go.
always trump a thief.
Right there, K9. He's right there, K9. Star, where you need us from? Coming down C Street now.
Livonia, Michigan. Police overtake armed robbers who just knocked off a fast food restaurant. Cornered and outnumbered, the crooks appear ready to surrender. But then, they have second thoughts. The bandits brazenly plow past the army of officers. One patrolman shoots and blows out the back window. Unfazed, the suspects push it to triple-digit speeds. The renegades rumble off the interstate, dangerously roaring through intersections. Cops know they have to take their shot. An officer finds his target and strikes. sharp hit to the fender sends the car careening out of control. The felons are slammed with a double dose of the law. This time, there will be no escape. The four holdup men risked innocent lives for a small payday. But it will cost them 15 years behind bars. Claycomo, Missouri. Sergeant Jeffrey Kirk spots two men in a car acting suspiciously.
When I got in behind them, and they started looking back at me, rubbernecking as I call it, and kept on looking back, it just drew my attention to them like they're nervous about something.
The driver is drunk. And when Kirk turns on his lights and siren, the vehicle takes off.
I was really worried about the public, the pedestrians, even my safety, you know, because I didn't want to get into a wreck.
The fleeing driver pushes his Ford Maverick to more than 90 miles an hour. And then the intoxicated suspect swerves into oncoming traffic, clips a van, and ignites the gas tank. Car and van are instantly engulfed in flames.
The flames went as high as the traffic signals. It looked like a bomb went off right there in the middle of the street.
Survivors stagger from the van, dazed but not badly hurt. The men in the car may not be so lucky.
I couldn't see anybody in the car. You know, it was burning. Well, my officer then ran around the bridge and they found him on the other side. The main driver was combative. He was yelling, cussing.
The driver had a blood alcohol level more than twice the legal limit. He's sent up for 13 years for this foolish flight that went down in flames.
Still to come, a rainy day renegade tears a path of destruction until Mother Nature throws him off course. And a deranged man turns a city bus into a deadly highway comet.
Holy cow.
But first, bank robbers go fender to fender with cops until their escape goes belly up. That's next on Most Shocking High-Speed Chases.
Lakeland, Florida.
I need some help. This guy's driving crazy.
Armed crooks lead a battalion of police on a blistering pursuit out of town.
Officers responded to a bank robbery in our downtown area and found a vehicle that matched the description.
The two suspects know that capture means hard time, prompting speeds that even the lead unit has trouble handling.
Here they come.
Other squad cars are left scrambling to close the gap. While ahead, the duo deftly dodges every trap laid out for them.
During this time, we're setting up stop sticks, trying to disable the vehicle.
When officers catch up, the desperate thieves pull a terrifying change of tactics, heading back toward the city center. It's time for drastic action.
The order was to take him out, referring to attempting a pit maneuver.
Oh, do it now. Get up there. Come on.
But before they can act, a roadblock forces the truck to take evasive measures. Officers on foot pursue in case the suspects bail. But the vehicle doubles back on the grass, dodging a slew of police cars. The robbers realize there's only one way back onto the road. Another cop hits back, then goes for the pit. The wreckage skids to a halt. The heart-stopping ordeal over.
The bad guy, once he was off the roadway, tried to ram another police officer. Our pit officer comes in, makes contact. The fleeing vehicle left the roadway. That presented the perfect moment in order to do the pit maneuver. The vehicle came to a rest on its side and against another car that was in the roadway.
The two men are secured. The pursuit is over with no civilian casualties. These officers knew they had a formidable foe and that every other ploy had come up short. They also recognized that extreme suspects call for extreme measures.
I was awful proud of the officers involved when I saw that pit maneuver. They did exactly what we expected them to do.
Los Angeles, California. Traffic has been shut down for miles by a bizarre spectacle. Suspect Jose Hernandez terrorizes the freeway in a stolen city bus. Completely outmuscled, police have no choice but to hang back and wait for a mistake. Suddenly, they catch a break. Congestion brings the bus to a halt. Officers approach in a cover formation, weapons aimed as they throw spikes in front of the tires. Hernandez drives over them and continues his outrageous run. The spikes quickly take their toll. First, burning rubber spews smoke. Then metal rims shower sparks. Until he's riding on nothing but the axle. But this behemoth still has plenty of strength. The pursuit rages on for another 2 hours before the bus finally grinds to a stop. Officers converge, unsure if Hernandez has hostages. They sneak up to the rear panel and disable his engine. Traffic backs up in every direction as police try to coax the driver out of the bus. Their patience pays off. After another 2 hours, he finally surrenders peacefully. There was no explanation for his crime other than a reckless joyride. After 4 hours, 3 freeways, 5 law enforcement agencies, and countless ruined commutes, he'll pay for his actions with 3 years of hard time. Springfield, Florida.
Just turn north on East Avenue.
Behind the wheel of this stolen car, ex-con James Caesar does his best to outrun the law.
Mr. Caesar had total disregard for public safety. He had total disregard for every traffic control device, every stop sign. He was running 60 to 65 mile an hour in a local residential area.
And with the streets getting wetter by the second, one wrong move could prove disastrous.
Raining completely changed the dynamic of the pursuit. It was pretty much a crapshoot as to what was going to happen after that.
But it doesn't take long to find out. Caesar blows through a red light, then slams into the side of another car. The crash leaves a civilian with minor injuries. And the suspect with even more determination.
Mr. Caesar was driving on people's lawns, between their homes, anywhere that he could drive to elude us.
Officers know they have to act fast.
Thank you, Chief. Take him out.
But the driver's own recklessness beats them to it. Caesar skids on the wet pavement and smashes into a tree.
Bump off car.
Oh, bump off car.
Tell him check you out. Look at you. You look injured at all. Yes.
Police discover that he broke his wrist in the crash. But it's his stomach that's giving him the most trouble.
Once he got caught, and he had a few seconds to sit there and think about the consequences, what he was going to have to face now, he knew he was going to prison. The adrenaline basically forced him to throw up.
The suspect is charged with felony eluding, an act that cost him his freedom and his lunch.
Up next, a Southern California criminal leads police on a high-stakes hit parade. Dead. A hit-and-run driver gets a crash course in pursuits. When most shocking, high-speed chases returns.
Pacoima, California. Moments ago, the man in the black car tried to ram an officer of the law. Police move in to show him how it's done. But this lesson won't be learned quickly. The suspect shakes off a cop's pit attempt and pulls away. Authorities refuse to give him an inch. The second hit is solid, but still not enough to shut the driver down. Police stick close and wait for another opportunity. And then they find it. A cruiser has a clear shot at his fender. He spins the suspect a full 180. But the shot propels the officer into a nearby storefront. And the renegade keeps running. 3 nasty pits. 3 incredible recoveries. It's time for the tag team approach. One unit goes for the hit. Another for the block. The suspect backs up and gets slammed again. But amazingly, he still won't surrender. A cop runs in, shotgun aimed. The driver peels out, just barely missing a third unit. He might be tenacious, but the quartet of blows has left his car battered. With the swarm of police above and below, he knows he's not getting away. He hits the brakes and jumps out. And that's when his real motive is revealed. He shouts for officers to kill him. But officers move in and take him down without firing a shot. This determined suspect put a squadron of police to the test. But when push came to shove, the cops cleaned up the streets their way.
It's possibly going to be the fleeing vehicle.
Baytown, Texas. Detective Evelyn Hernandez tries to stop a hit-and-run driver.
We're turning south in the
But his running is just getting started.
I initiate a traffic stop, and the driver doesn't stop. He keeps on going, speeding through the neighborhood.
The bandit barrels down residential roads, desperate to shake his police tail.
During the chase, I was just hoping that I could keep up with him and keep dispatch informed of my location.
East on Honeycutt, south on North Alexander.
His next turn
south on 4th.
will be his last.
150, he just crashed out East Lilbert and 4th.
A sharp hit to the curb spells disaster. The careening car takes out a fence and slams head first into a tree. Unbelievably, the outlaw comes through the crash completely uninjured, but ready to call it quits.
I'm running up to the car with my gun in my hand, ordering the subject to keep his hands up, and that's what he was doing.
Put your hands up! Leave your hands up!
Officers discover that Jesse Canizales ran because he had drugs in his car. Now he'll get to spend the next 17 months crashing in the big house.
Just ahead.
It's crazy.
A crook treats his truck like a speeding bullet and takes aim at police. And criminals on a late-night spree get a bumper-crunching wake-up call. Next on Most Shocking High-Speed Chases.
Brisbane, Australia.
What you're seeing here is a high-speed chase southbound down Bow Desert Road.
Units are in hot pursuit of a bank robbery suspect in a stolen pickup.
We just watched him ram at the back of a cop car and has caused some pretty serious damage. He's showing no signs of giving up at this stage.
Up ahead, a cruiser tries to block the road.
Here we go.
The fugitive charges right for the cop, swerving at the last second. And he's not done yet.
It's crazy. What's he going to do here? Oh, look at the accident. Look at that one.
Cutting through traffic, he ping-pongs between two cars. No one is injured, but the way this guy is running, it's only a matter of time. He hits a straightaway and drops the pedal. But he's driving right into a chase-ending bottleneck.
Stuck.
The suspect wedges himself between two stopped cars. Officers surround the pickup. The criminal tries to back out, but is quickly taken down. He held the streets of Brisbane hostage and even challenged the law with deadly force. But when he ran out of road, police taught him what true force is all about. Hobbs, New Mexico. In the dead of night, Officer Antonio de la Fuente pursues a Tahoe full of known felons.
I've known them for a long time. I've dealt with them within the city. I've arrested them.
The trio of hoodlums finds themselves cornered.
I had no idea if it was going to get ugly, if we're going to have some kind of shootout, or if they're going to try to ram my vehicle.
He tries to block the path with his car and gets a bumper full of twisted metal.
At that time, he got so far ahead of me that I couldn't keep up.
Lieutenant Brian Ballou picks up the chase.
If we didn't get this pursuit stopped and stopped quickly, it was going to go till somebody got hurt. They were getting more and more desperate as the pursuit went on.
He dropped the curb. He dropped the curb. He dropped it.
That was the time that I decided that if I had the opportunity, I was going to stop this pursuit.
Just run him out. Just run him out.
But this pit almost takes Lieutenant Ballou out as well.
The scariest moment for me was us almost running off into the center culvert, which would have been about a 10-foot drop.
Another officer hammers the SUV before the perps can run again. Police waste no time subduing the vicious cons.
The passenger was one of our local criminals, and I knew him to have an outstanding warrant for drive-by shooting.
A second passenger is wanted for beating up a cop, and the driver is in violation of his parole. This pursuit could have cost officers their lives, but an amazing pit put the brakes on these criminal careers.
Just run him out. Just run him out.
Coming up, an armed fugitive tries to outrun, then outgun the law. That's next on Most Shocking High-Speed Chases.
Clark County, Mississippi.
County road. County road.
Deputy Melton Davis pursues a man who just fled a traffic stop after the officer noticed a gun in his car.
He does have a shotgun in the car. I don't know if he's got any shield.
Davis was able to hobble the driver's vehicle as he sped away.
Well, when he took off, I grabbed my pistol out of my holster and shot one of his back tires out.
A backup officer catches up to the chase and attempts a rolling roadblock.
They're trying to box me and not get slowed down.
But even on three wheels, the suspect proves slippery.
He's off the road. Totally off the road. He's going to go into again. Woo!
fugitive narrowly escapes their clutches. It's clear that officers are in for a tough ride. But as the gunman continues his reckless run, Davis fears things are going to get much worse.
I could see him feeling around looking for a shell in the car somewhere.
Suddenly, the car peels off the main road. Officers don't know it, but the runaway is going home. The man hits his brakes and comes out shooting.
He turned and come out with the shotgun. I knew he had done found another shell to go in it. And as he put the shotgun in my face, my hand was still up. And the shot hit the windshield and my hand.
As the vehicle rolls into the trees, the shooter escapes into his house, dodging fire from backup. Davis is hurried away for medical attention, lucky to only be hit in the hand.
I've had 3 surgeries on my hand, and also I still got shot in my hand.
An hour after the shootout, Christopher Porter gives himself up. Authorities soon learn why he was so desperate.
He had just got out of the pen just 1 to 2 months beforehand. And a felon cannot have a gun of any kind.
Now, instead of just a parole violation, Porter is sentenced to 8 years for aggravated assault on an officer.
From open highways to grassy fields, fugitives will take any path to freedom. So cops must be ready with numbers, with teamwork, and with decisive moves. Acting quickly to put the brakes on high-speed chasing.